By. It looks like we have Caolan Robertson on the line. Caolan, are you there?
I am. Thank you very much for having me.
Hi, thank you very much for making it at such short notice. I wish I'd thought of it earlier. I didn't even think about the fact that tomorrow is the big day, is the big march. What is the plan for tomorrow?
So it's obviously going to be a major protest with an aim to free Tommy, to put pressure on the establishment, to put as absolute much pressure as possible to make sure that they know that we're serious about this, that the UK public are all on his side. Majority are actually secretly on his side. Obviously, we've had massive protests over the last few weeks, and his court case has just been pulled forward by a couple of weeks. We've actually made a lot of progress. It's looking really good. It looks like a lot of this is working, a lot of the crowdfunding and a lot of the pressure and the support. And so that's what we wanted to do tomorrow. We want to put on a big display of support to the establishment and to the British media and to the public. So we're expecting, as usual, tens of thousands of patriots turning up for Tommy, chanting his name through the streets and hoping that the elites in Downing Street and in Whitehall will actually hear that, and they'll know exactly what's going on. And the media hopefully will be covering it as they, well, maybe not too fairly, but have been. It's going to be an incredible lineup. We've got really great speakers from across Europe, from actual sort of right-wing establishment political parties in Europe, which is incredible. Raheem Kassam's done a really good job in pulling those people together. You'll see all that in the next 24 hours. And so Geert Wilders, obviously, he was supposed to be coming, but he's actually going to be doing a very, very exciting video message, which is going to be played there. So he might not be there in real life, but he's going to surprise and be there, on screen, as we did with Lawrence Southern in Day for Freedom. So it's still going to be an incredible show of support, and very, very important.
Excellent, excellent. Well, that's great. And I know that, y'all have just had such massive success with the marches that you've had earlier. I don't think that the authorities were ready for such a showing, the last couple of marches that have happened in support of Tommy Robinson. I know there's video last time, basically the police just turning and running and being chased down by this crowd. And I know that maybe they'll be a little bit more prepared this time. They might not give ground quite so easily. I think you may have embarrassed them a little bit with just the sheer amount of support for Tommy, since they try so hard to make him such a pariah and act like he's such a fringe figure. Clearly he's not. Clearly he has just massive support. So where is the march tomorrow? Is it in London?
Yeah, it's the same place as where we had Day for Freedom, and the same place where we did the last march, which is right outside Downing Street in Whitehall at 3 p.m. That's the same place we've done it the last few times, and it's obviously the greatest place to show your support to the establishment, and it's right in the heart of London as well. It's an incredible place to do it. And so that's at 3 p.m. The weather's looking good. It's going to be very, 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 very successful as the last ones have been. And obviously, we don't condone violence. We hope it's going to be as peaceful as possible. Last time there were problems, with people running after the police and things. But it's easy to be a little bit sympathetic to that, because Tommy had just been thrown in prison days before that had happened, and his supporters were rightfully furious about that. Absolutely furious. Obviously, we don't condone that sort of violence and things like that, but. People are clearly really angry, and tensions are on a knife edge. They're boiling over right now in London. You can really see it. And hopefully with this court case, which has been pulled back now to the 18th, which is next week, we'll be able to see a more positive result. We'll be able to see some actually good progress in the court case. We've received some good news about it, and it's actually looking a little bit hopeful, which is good. Whether we can pull the suspension back a lot, whether we can get him out there and then, we don't know for sure, but this is the most positive news that we've had so far in the case since he's been arrested.
That's fantastic. Is he still being held in solitary confinement, as far as you know?
Yes, definitely. 23 hours a day. He's allowed out 1 hour a day to, walk around and make a couple of phone calls, and that's it. So he must be driven totally mad right now. But he's been saying that he's getting letters from his supporters, from patriots, from people who love him all over the country, and that's been keeping him going. That's been, instead of staring at a ceiling all day, he's just reading and rereading these messages. And I encourage people to send them as much as possible, because that's really, really positive for him to hear. And he's obviously quite looking forward to next week as well, when there's the new appeal date, because that's going to be some great progress. And so it's just sort of a waiting game right now. Unfortunately, because of people donating to the campaign, we've managed to hire the best lawyers that we could possibly find in Britain, really, who would take this case. And that's why we've seen this incredible progress. They put together a team of people who have plowed straight through every single avenue possible, who have gone 100 miles an hour, who have looked at all the inconsistencies, everything that the establishment have done, and they've really put together a strong case. So it's going to be very, very interesting what happens next week. And it's also being overseen by the top judge in the whole of the United Kingdom. It'd be like the head of the Supreme Court in America personally overseeing the case. So this is totally unprecedented. It's very, very rare that you see something on this magnitude in Britain. It's going to be extremely interesting what happens next week, and I hope everyone's going to show their support and let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's such good news to hear. And if you're in London, please go out and show some support for Tommy Robinson. Caolan, you're involved in all sorts of great stuff. Your documentary Farmlands, revealing with Lauren Southern what's happening in the South African farmers. You do a lot of great stuff. So glad to have somebody like you fighting for Tommy. Again, 3 o'clock. Is it outside Downing Street, right, tomorrow?
Right outside Downing Street. Same place as Pay for Freedom, and that's where you'll find the stage. That's where it's all happening. Well,
hopefully it stays safe. Hopefully it doesn't get too violent. Thank you for coming on. Sorry we had to cut you a little short, but I think your message got out, and I hope you all the success tomorrow.
From Donald Trump, London's turning into a shithole under SADIQ Khan. Okay, I think we'll leave it there. Raheem Kassim, the editor for Breitbart.
FREETOMMY Robinson! Red!